Hey everyone, I'm going in this dollar store to get all the tools I need to make adjustments to my guitar. Let's see if we can find them. So what we need is Allen wrenches, right? Take that. Come this way. Definitely gonna need this set right here for the truss rod cover. There's no wire cutters, but we're gonna make these work. They'll work fine. Okay, so now we need something to take measurements. The problem with something like this is that it starts way too high and you can't measure with that. But I found these and we can actually cut and grind that down to that level. So I'm thinking these for sure. Here's a microfiber cloth. So we can use that to wipe the guitar down. That's a really good deal for $1. For the guitar mat, we found these cool soft mats that are padded and nice, so we can put the guitar on them. Go ahead and take that one. And we've decided to go with the microfiber zebra tiger bath mat because classy. A really cool trick is get something like a toenail clipper to cut strings with. If you're in a pinch, they'll work. Plus, this comes with emery boards for $1. These emery boards are fantastic, and I'll show you how to use those as well. And don't forget, the dollar store is sometimes a good place to get yourself a cheap 9-volt battery or two. So today's challenge is, can I make adjustments, get this guitar to play right with just using the tools that I got from the dollar store? Now I'm going to be using a pack of strings. That's obviously not from the dollar store. And I do have a pocket knife, but to be honest with you, I only had it to open most of the packaging. So I don't foresee using this, but there it is. So this is a diamond guitar that I bought, and the action is way too low. In fact, it's buzzing here and buzzing here. So you can see I bought the mat. I wanted to have something to put down on this table. Again, this is the idea of this video is absolutely nothing other than what you saw me buy from the dollar store. So if I don't have it from the dollar store, I can't use it. I don't foresee really needing this, but the reason I had this, let me show you, was when you get these kind of this set like this, you get these emery boards. I'm more interested in these emery boards than I am in, and in these emery boards, there's a fine, really fine soft side and a coarse side. The coarse side looks like maybe 250, and this definitely feels like 500, something higher, maybe even 1,000 grit. It's really, really light. And sometimes these are nice if you have fret sprouts sticking on the side. You can use these just to kind of take off the tips. You want to use some painter's tape. So if I was going to use these, I would have bought some tape at the dollar store to tape around the fretboard. But since this guitar doesn't need it, we won't address that today. So first things first, we're going to need a screwdriver to get this truss rod off. So let's first do some measurements. Now I bought this ruler, and like I told you guys, I already sanded it down. It was pretty easy. It's a soft, almost like balsa wood ruler. And this will just give me a gauge. I just want to be able to figure out what I'm looking at. Now, I said that it's buzzing here and it's buzzing here. So let me show you the trick that I want to show you guys. Now, I make all adjustments when in playing position. In other words, when I'm holding the guitar, okay? So that's the best way to kind of sight the fretboard and figure out everything. We already have checked this guitar out. There's no high frets or issues. It's just an adjustment issue. So here's the rule I follow. If you have buzzing between the nut and the 5th fret, it needs to have the neck relieved. In other words, you have too much overbow. The neck is too straight. If you're having buzz between, let's say, the 12th fret and either the 22nd or 24th fret, you need to raise your bridge here. Now, what happens in this case is we have both. So sometimes we're so overbowed that we're having buzzing issues that we may want to just adjust the neck and then see where that takes us. So that's the first thing we're going to do is adjust this neck. Now, we're going to look to see what we're at. I'm going to measure off the top of the fret, of the 3rd fret to see, and we are at 0.5 millimeter off the fret. And I'm measuring between the fret and the string. And this one is about 0.75 millimeters. So it's super low. This is ridiculous low. You can't play this. So now we have a measurement. And you can see I'm using the microfiber cloth to rest the headstock on, and of course this bath mat that's also microfiber, which I actually kind of dig. And what we're going to do is we're going to relieve the truss rod. So we're going to get the Allen wrench that fits it, which I'm pretty sure is going to be These Allen wrenches aren't even labeled, so you know at the dollar store whether they're metric or standard. I highly recommend you do not stick Allen wrenches in a neck that you do not know what size they are, right? But, you know, this is a challenge, so we're going to do this. Here it is. This is the right one. I can refill it. There we go. And you want to make sure that when you put the Allen wrench in there, you are not stripping anything out or ruining it in any way. There we go. And the reason I'm okay with using this for what I'm doing is as you saw, I did almost no adjustment and it made a huge difference. So let's go ahead and measure now. Same thing, you don't want the neck resting on anything when you do the measurement. Okay, so we went from 0.5 millimeter to definitely it's 1 millimeter, which is perfect. I like 0.75 but for shredding, but 1 millimeter is great. And this already went to 1.5 millimeters here. So already good there. Let's check up here. Little fret out right there. So what we're going to do is loosen these strings. Really wish the dollar store sold a string winder. And we're just going to raise this a hair. And I can do that with my fingers. It's not a big deal. Just want to feel. Well, just a little bit more. You can kind of do this by feel. Again, we're not doing a full setup. This is just to make the adjustments, especially like if you're somewhere where you don't have your tools, or you know you're at a gig, you know, then you're desperate. This is where you're going to go. Let's try this one more time. See, that makes it pretty easy, and we know it's going to come up a little bit when I put the full tension back on the neck. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut these strings. Now I'm just going to use this microfiber cloth just to wipe everything down. This is where if you had guitar polish, maybe you could polish the body. If you had some linseed or lemon oil, you could put it on your fretboard. I generally don't use a lot of that stuff. The one thing I use a lot of is I'll use lubricate, which is to lubricate the nut. And sometimes, you know, just to freshen up the fretboard the way it looks, I'll put a little linseed or lemon oil on it from a brand like Hosa or Dunlop. But this guitar doesn't need it. I mean, the guitar looks perfectly brand new. So it just needs a wipe down. This microfiber cloth worked out great for cradling the headstock to make sure it doesn't get scratched on the table, and of course wiping it down. So now we just put on the strings. What I do is I do what I call the karate chop. I put my hand right here. You could say about the 12th fret. That's a pretty good example. I find that no matter how big your hand is or how small your hand is, that's still a good kind of good distance right there, about 3 inches. I use it because I can put my thumb right here, and then while holding the string, I'm actually holding it with my thumb, I can start to turn the tuning key, bend it up a little bit out of the way so that each wrap goes underneath. Once I get about to tension, I just go ahead, I put my hand right over this neck so that I'll explain in a second. I put my hand right over the neck and I just pull up a little bit, just a little bit. And you'll feel it. You'll feel it's really tight, and then it kind of loosens up on you as the string stretches. Now, the reason I put my hand here is because I want it to ever pop out of the corners and chip the nut. So it won't let the string bounce out of my hand. Okay, so there you have it. We're all tuned up now. We're going to use these to cut off the string ends. This is a little difficult to get in here with this. You know, a lot of the dollar stores that I've seen had actual wire cutters. And to be honest with you, wire cutters are very inexpensive, but I highly recommend like the Addario string cutter and winder combination. That's what I use. I really, really like that. Although these are really cool how they're getting in. They get in really close so you don't have those bob wire pieces there. So we'll go ahead and put this back on. Okay. Wow. No buzzing. Little out of tune. Have to tune that back up a little bit. Like I said, those strings are stretching. And then, like I said before, you can come underneath like this way too, same thing, and just give these a little stretch, just a little bit. And a lot of people like to do up and down the string, like when they do stretches. I find that works just as easy. Now, very nice. So there you have it, a perfectly playing, amazing guitar in every way, using nothing but the stuff I bought at a dollar store. To be honest, I didn't need these, but I bought them anyways. But like I said, the Allen wrench key set, actually not that bad. I'm really impressed for the quality. They look better than the ones that they came in the free guitar. I figure in a lot of cases you might have the one that comes in the box with the guitar, but just in case, these seem to work in a pinch. These worked great. Everything seemed to work great. As you saw, I bought 9-volt batteries just because you never know when you're going to need a cheap battery. For $1, I wouldn't necessarily buy them over a quality battery, but at a gig, if somebody needed a battery, you'll always need a 9-volt battery. It's definitely something that a musician will always need. So there you have it. Full setup, doing nothing but dollar store stuff. Pretty good. In fact, to be honest with you, I'm going to keep this bath mat, probably replace my actual guitar mat. This is nicer than my mat. And the microfiber was great. In fact, for $1, you couldn't beat that. I had a lot of fun doing this. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I will be doing another video in this series where I'll be comparing the StewMac tools, the actual tools I use, against Harbor Freight tools. And Harbor Freight is like an import low-end priced tool company. So we'll do a full video of that as well. I want to show you guys all the ways that you can get this done. So we'll see you then. As always, I want to thank you for your time and know your gear.